to the Bible as I was getting ready. And my prayer is always, Lord, open my ears to hear what you have for me today from your word. Let the words jump out at me, Lord God. Let it catch my attention. Let me be able to comprehend what your word is saying. And so, as I mentioned before, we're doing the chronological order of the Bible. What they're doing is they're doing Old Testament and New Testament at the same time. So today I'm listening to Exodus, and the book is called Exodus because it's all about the Israelites' removal from Egypt, right? Their escape from Egypt. They exited Egypt and the captivity of Pharaoh and the treatment of Pharaoh and things of that nature. So I'm reading, and I'm at the part where they're actually escaping Egypt. And Jesus is telling, Moses as the leader, this is what I'm doing. I'm letting you guys escape, or I'm telling you guys to escape. And what I noticed about one of the reasons why he was hardening Pharaoh's heart and why he was going to make Pharaoh come after them, because he finds out that they escaped, is he does it for the Egyptians. He said, I'm doing this to show the Egyptians that I am God. And I find it interesting, and it just reminded me that sometimes in our issues, in our struggles, sometimes it's not about us. Sometimes it's about those that are truly in captivity or truly under the rule of someone that's not fair or not okay or whatever. Sometimes the struggles that we go through are not about us. They're for the release and for the blessing and for the revelation for someone else. And so anyway, what also jumped out at me was all he tells Moses is tell them, we're going. And he lets him know that Pharaoh is going to come after him. So once they get to the Red Sea, all of Israel is like, we were better off under Pharaoh's rule. Like, we were better off there. Why do you have us out here running away? And now we have no way to escape because there's a sea in front of us. And now Pharaoh is behind us and he's just going to be mad. And like, we're screwed. We were better off there underneath his control. And what Moses says to them is essentially, fear not. You know what I'm saying? Like, God's got us. And also what I find interesting is Moses tells them that, and he essentially tells them, like, we're going to continue. This is what God has told us to do. He has faith, right? And he's like, this is what we are meant to do. This is how we get out of here. So they get out. Well, they're at the sea. Pharaoh's behind them. And after he gets done telling them that, then God gives him the instructions on how they're going to escape. Up until this point, if I can remember right, Jesus doesn't tell him how they're going to escape. He gives him step by step. He doesn't give him too much. He gives him just enough that he needs to keep his faith going, to keep his trust in God going, and to keep Moses as the leader, to keep him letting the Israelites know, like, God's got us, right? So he gives them this big faith speech, and then he finds out what to do. God tells him to lift his rod, bring it down. They're going to walk over dry ground. And so Moses does, and they do. And then when Moses lifted his staff again, the water receded, the water came back down, and Pharaoh and his people were taken out. But one thing I will say that also caught my attention was that it specifically mentions in the Bible that Pharaoh didn't come alone. Pharaoh came with 600 of his chariots, and on every single chariot was a captain. And I don't know if that sticks out to y'all, But in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so what you're saying, God, is when something is going on and you release us from it, you bring freedom in our life. You don't just bring freedom from that one thing. You bring freedom from multiple different things that helped keep us in bondage or keep us, in that situation. It's more than just one thing that we're released from. Those things are eradicated from our life, and they were eradicated. There was captains and leaders that were eradicated along with Pharaoh. It wasn't just Pharaoh. I always say, like, God doesn't just do one thing for one reason. There's multiple reasons he does one thing. You know what I'm saying? And to me, this is one of those things where he's like, okay, I'm gonna get y'all out of here, but also I'm gonna show who I am to the Egyptians, because they're not going to have any other explanation for why this happened. You know what I'm saying? And also, it's gonna prove to Israel, like, hello, I'm your God. I told you I got you, and I got you. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, that would booster Israel's faith. We find out they struggle in their faith multiple times. But it's one of those things where he had multiple reasons for doing what he did. And we just have to trust that the things that we're going through are not so linear. They're not just about us. They're not just about that situation. It rarely ever is about that situation. You know what I'm saying? My daughter was diagnosed with cancer pretty early in her life, like within 6 to 9 months of her life. And one of her eyes were extracted. And my thing the entire time was, it was hard. Not going to sit here and act like it wasn't. But my main thing was, God, what are you trying to do? What are you using this for? Because I want to remain in the faith. And all he kept telling me was, you just tell your story. You tell your story of faith and how you trusted me. And I've given you promises. You make mention of those promises and you keep the faith. And that's what I've been trying to do, because God has promised me healing for her through visions, through dreams, and I believe he's going to do it. And with that, though, I know it's going to result in many people either coming back to him or finding him through that testimony. So I know it's not even about necessarily my daughter with cancer. It's about what God is going to use through that. Who God is going to touch through that. God is not a God of addition. He's a God of multiplication and exponential. And so what we see one thing in, he sees multiple different things that could affect things from there and things from there. You know what I'm saying? Like he sees it as far more than what we think it is. And so that is my, thought for you today is have faith. Know that you serve a great God. A God that is never going to leave or forsake you. A God that has your hands in his life. A God that is always going to give you a way out. Right? This was Israel's way out. He promised them freedom and they got it. You know what I'm saying? And so this is what God is going to do. And this is how he's going to show up in our life sometimes. And we have to have faith and trust that he knows best. And he obviously is doing what's best for us. And so that's my thought to you today. I will say it is hard sometimes having the faith and not seeing the promise right away. I'm like Israel, I don't have faith. I don't have strong faith all the time. Sometimes I'm like, Lord, this would be a lot easier if you just healed her now. But he's like, no. I need this to reach. I need other people to see my majesty. I need this to reach more people than you think. You know what I'm saying? And we just have to trust that that is what God has said, and that is how God works in our life. And I know that when she is healed, that there are going to be many people that I don't even know about, people that will never ever meet her, that this is going to affect. And I claim that in Jesus' name. And I know that there are going to be things that come out of this that I never expected, that God will use. You know what I'm saying? In any way he sees fit. But I have to just remain in the faith. I have to be like Moses and say, hey, God's given us a promise. Therefore, we walk in that faith and we walk in that trust. And we know that he's going to do what he said he's going to do. And so That's my word to you today, is walk in faith, walk in trust. You may be going through a struggle right now, but just know that there is a way out, and just know that he will give you instruction, and he will show you how to get out, and he will provide the way. So anyway, I'm at work. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you later. nephew's birthday party. And I've been up. I did the dishes. It's, I guess, what I always do when I wake up. I don't really know. But I have been like in like a slump. I've been like in a fashion slump, I don't want to say like I'm insecure in this season or anything like that. I don't think that's it. I'm just in a weird spot, you know, like I used to love fashion. I used to, me and my coworker, Nikki, hey Nikki, if you watch it, hey boo. We used to talk about fashion all the time. Like we would just talk about different styles and different trends, and oh my gosh, like so much fun. And she would go on trips. We would look at her outfits. She would go on trips. I was always here, but it was just really fun. And then I had my child, and I've literally lost all like fashion sense. And that doesn't make me want to go outside and live life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's like dramatic, but as someone who used to love it at one point, it really is like, I don't know how to dress myself. And my body really didn't change at all. Luckily for me, it didn't change. I've actually lost weight. And I'm like, I have no idea how to dress myself. Like, even before I lost the weight after pregnancy, I just had no idea how to, I'm wearing hoodies all the time. I'm wearing big, huge sweaters. And that's like not necessarily new, but I made it cute before. And for whatever reason, it's not cute now. Maybe I've changed, you know, like maybe my thought about things have changed, my desire to dress different. I don't know, but like, okay, if I have that desire, then how do I want to dress? I have no idea. If I don't want to dress like I was before, then I need to know what it is that I want to look like. And I have no idea what I want to look like. Obviously, I want to dress modest and like, you know, do those things, but as a bigger girl, I still want to be stylish. You know what I'm saying? I think anyone wants to be stylish, maybe. Some people, that's not a priority, which is fine. But because it's something that I've loved, I mean, me and my brother would talk about fashion. He's fantastic at it all. And I don't know. I'm lost. I'm lost. The reason why I bring this up is because my nephew's birthday party is today. And I woke up thinking, actually, I like dreamt about it. I have no idea what to wear. It's consuming too much of my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm lost. I have no idea what to wear. I have no idea how to do my hair. What? These are just things I don't want to say I didn't think about before, but I enjoyed thinking about before because I kind of had an idea of what I was going to wear. I had an idea of how I was going to do my hair, you know, just these different things. And I'm just in this season of like, I have no idea why it feels like my brain is not working like it did before. And I know like mom brain is a thing. And my daughter is always stylish. Like since the day she was born, her style is fantastic. You know, like she's always been dressed. I rarely keep her in pajamas. That's just me. I love getting her dressed. Like it literally is like all the creativity that I had for me literally went into my child, and I'm left with like the crumbs. I have no idea. And maybe this is a mom thing. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't have my mom to talk about these things to, so y'all are gonna hear it, you know? And maybe these are mom things. I don't know, but I'm struggling. I'm in such a slump. Like, you see fashions, like people in church and what they wear and stuff. And then I tried it and I'm like, girl, first off, it's not you. Second off, it don't look right. You know what I'm saying? And then I always just end up in like a skirt and a big, huge sweater. And part of that reasoning is because I'm running around church the entire time. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the photographer. So I do all the photos. I do the social media. I'm usually running around in the back doing, you know, some of the visual work or making sure that they're good. You know, I'm running upstairs taking pictures of Sunday school. I'm running around with my child. So it's just like, that also is part of it. And I mean, I'm wearing tennis shoes to church. I didn't wear tennis shoes to church. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm talking about me specifically. These are just things I didn't do prior. And I'm okay with it. I'm not beating myself up. I'm not ashamed of it or anything like that, but I do want there to be a change. And I'm just lost on where to go. And I just thought I was going to share that with you guys today, because I'm literally sitting here thinking, like, I'm watching, this podcast, Same Blood, Different Type. Love it. And shout out to Mariah and Olivia. And I don't know. I'm struggling. I don't know. I'm struggling. And there's nothing more I can really say about that outside of it's affecting things, and it's like, okay, girl, like there's many other things to be, dealing with. And if that's your biggest problem, it's not. But if that was my biggest problem, like, then I'm good in this world. I understand that. I'm not ungrateful. I just like, you always have to put out those caveats, which just seem very ridiculous, but here we are. I'm not ungrateful. I'm not, I'm grateful for the clothes that I do have. I just want to make a change. And so maybe I take you guys along with that. I don't know. Maybe I build some, mood boards up, or I don't know. I need to first figure out, this is where my mind goes. I'll tell you, you'll get an insight of how my brain works. I immediately go to, okay, I first need to figure out like what even fits my body correctly. Here's the thing. I don't wear tight clothes. So when I do wear tight clothes, I'm very uncomfortable the entire time. Like last week, I wore a shirt that was fitted with some like cargo black jeans, some like wide leg cargo black jeans. So the black jeans weren't tight at all, but the shirt was tighter. And then I had a big puffer over it. And I still was super uncomfortable, and it just fit and I looked fine. But I just was like, I was uncomfortable the entire time. Like at one point, my daughter was acting up. So we actually ended up just sitting in the car for a little bit. But I was just like, that's also not me. Like I was totally fine going to the car and just sitting in the car. If you know me, that's not me. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is affecting things. This is affecting me. I just realized yesterday, I like have no idea how to talk to people. Like new people. I have no idea how to make conversation. What is happening? Like that again is not me. I can make conversation with anybody. And I don't know if I'm becoming more introverted. I don't know, but I don't get outside anymore. And so that's definitely affecting things. I don't have anxiety talking to people or meeting new people. I love meeting new people. I'm just learning. I like literally don't know how to have conversations anymore. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, you're welcome. You're welcome into my rant for the day. No, I'm just kidding. I wanted to share that. I want to get it out because I have no idea what's going on. All I know is I'm over it and I want to make changes, and I have no idea how to start, how to go about it. Like I have cute pieces and I'm literally lost on how to put them together. What? That just wasn't me before. My dad is super fashionable. My brother's super fashionable. I was like that. My sister could care less, but she's still cute. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. And it's been happening for a while. And I don't know. I remember even being pregnant. Okay, sorry, last thing. I remember even being pregnant and I wore big clothes the entire time. Literally no one knew I was pregnant until literally like a week or two before I gave birth. Like only those very close to me knew. No one at church knew. Most people at church didn't even know until I brought my child into the church house. Like truly. Because all I did was wear big sweaters and like my skirts or leggings or whatever. Like I've done it since being pregnant, and now it's 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like So okay, for my baby shower, I wore a fitted dress that would literally show my belly. And then I literally went to my best friend's mom's house 2 days before I was induced to take photos because I hadn't taken any photos of my belly the entire pregnancy. I didn't take photos of my belly at all. I didn't do monthly pictures. I didn't do anything. I don't know if I regret that or not. I just know I was not in a good spot. And maybe one day I'll go into it. I was not in a good spot. I was literally going through heartbreak, but I didn't enjoy any of it. And so I don't know if that's now crossed over into life now. I don't know. All I know is I have no idea how to dress myself anymore. And so now we're sitting here thinking I'm doing everything I can to avoid getting dressed because I'm just like, I have no idea what to do. I have no idea how to get myself dressed. My room is a mess every single time I get dressed because I try 18 different things on. I don't know. I don't hear anyone else talking about this stuff, so I don't know if anyone else goes through this. But my goodness, I am lost. I'm lost. So we'll see what I end up wearing. I'll be shocked if I show you. But if I do, fantastic. I'm gonna get myself ready. I'm gonna take a shower. Everyone else is still asleep because it's still an ungodly hour for Saturday. And so I'm just gonna go about my day, but I had to give that to y'all. And I know like I've been MIA, and I think this has probably been part of it. I've been MIA for like 3 weeks, and I've been recording things. I've been recording things throughout that. It just hasn't been like a full vlog, you know? I'll just record at his birthday. I don't even know. All I know is I'll probably be in a big sweater and probably some big jeans. Whatever. Come on, 3-bar harmony. Yay.